Hey guys, and welcome to another brand new video. In this video, we actually have some pretty interesting news to go and cover as of today. So there's three major big things. Number one is that there's a brand new Xbox update that is now rolling out in case you guys care about that. We also have a brand new kind of big PlayStation 5 drama when it comes to the PlayStation's power, as well as also people kind of hitting on the PC version of one of the most recently released games, and as well a bit of Star Wars updates, some PlayStation Plus updates. We're going to talk about this all throughout this late night video. So make sure you guys are subscribed with the notifications on. We have the Twitter and Twitch ring down below if you guys want to follow, and of course, if you guys also haven't, maybe checking out the shorts, let me know if you guys like those, and let you guys know a little bit of a channel update. We have been starting to work out, slowly working shorts on the channel stuff, in case you guys want to go check those on out, or they see them in your sub box or recommended, feel free to go creep on them. So let's go and dive in the video itself. Very first and foremost, let's go talk about kind of a somewhat more intriguing thing over here, which is on the brand new Xbox update, PlayStation stuff right after. So the new Xbox Home update was actually rolled out as of today. So if you guys do have an Xbox Series X or S, or even an Xbox One, this actually was a little bit of a hot topic and hotly debated topic too for when it comes to, well, all this stuff. Because over here, saying Microsoft is now rolling out its brand new home user interface for the Xbox Series X and S and the Xbox One. You guys may have a chance to see it. I think it's currently a slow rollout over here. But basically, they might make the UI a little bit more easier to discover new games, rediscover games you already love, connect with communities, and create a more personalized experience. Highlights include the addition of a quick access menu, more space for your personalized background, and the option to change your background to match the game you highlight in the recently played list. So all around kind of cool. Just kind of, there was a big controversy on this before as well, where some folks were saying like the new updates were kind of really mediocre. The old Xbox insiders completely hated it, and they actually even had a chance to roll back a lot of these general updates. A lot of folks were not happy with the vibes. They were not enjoying it. They were like, this is trash. So thankfully, Xbox did go and listen, and now they have a brand new home screen, as you guys can probably go and see on over here. I think it looks kind of nice. You have like the cool backgrounds. You can actually see the backgrounds themselves. You have your username. It's kind of easy to see all these option menus up on top. Maybe we'll make these a little bit bigger if I could. Here's all the general games like Starfield, Fortnite, Diablo, etc., and like Game Pass and some of the other various side things. I think it looks really nice at the end of the day. So the update also adds a list of games curated and personalized for users, and also lets users pin their favorite games, curated games, and system games like Quick Resume to the home screen. So overall, just a bunch of really nice quality of life UI updates and general updates for anyone who may have an Xbox themselves. There's an updated Friends Community Updates row and a new Watch and Listen Spotlight, which shows you which media apps and content are available. Microsoft said it's currently rolling out the new home experience to a subset of all the Xbox consoles, so some of you folks, if you guys just don't have it yet, be on the lookout throughout the next few weeks. You may have a chance to see it. Some folks might get it before you. If you have like friends or whatever, don't worry about it. But I would say at the end of the day, it looks overall really nice. If you guys want to give your thoughts and comments on your first impressions on it, feel free to. I'd probably give that a pretty good thumbs up. Now, we also have some other big drama. It's still Xbox drama that's hopefully been kind of cleared up on this one, but now we have a little bit more of a crazier drama. So this has kind of been an intriguing one over here, where we've now been seeing, and I'll just go and I guess mute it for you guys over here, Ratchet and Clank, which as of right now is, I think, available up on PC. But the one big thing is this game always kind of boached and pushed a lot of the PlayStation 5 SSD being an absolutely phenomenal, card, basically making sure your SSD is running things very smoothly, and Ratchet and Clank is a very, very nice thing that, took advantage of it, because they have these infinite loops and small different areas, and it was really easy to segment into each other. But right now, it's kind of crazy, because I'm getting a lot of internet drama, where here's how Ratchet and Clank Rift Apart runs with the hard drive at minimum setting. So this is keep this in mind, the barest of all bare minimums. And honest to God, the SSD to me seems like a pretty big leverage. I'd rather have an SSD to make sure everything runs well, but let's go and let this play us on out. So, as you guys can maybe go and see up on this one too, like I said, you have all these portals, kind of a big, it's the big concept of the game. You want to be able to go and jump between the areas. You want to make the boss fights simultaneous. You want to make the traveling very smooth. But look at what happens when you go and you see this on a normal hard drive, which, as you guys don't know, a hard drive is kind of like an old, outdated, basically just, it works for pictures or videos, but it loads a lot slower. SSDs are basically the newer iteration that came out not too long ago, a few years ago, and it's more of a seamless loading. It's a lot faster. So I mean, if you're on PC, old laptop or whatever, it might be a hard drive. Most things nowadays do have SSDs, but this is on the minimum for morning. But you guys can kind of see where the textures are not loading. If you guys ever have issues with your games, definitely put them on your SSD. But look at how slow this is. This isn't like edited. This is not loading like crazy. It just basically is a very, very long load time. And, well, it's just not going well. And that's kind of like the big and showcases up the power of the PlayStation 5, because this is not me pausing the video. Like, all of us collectively right here, it's like still going. Look at the very top right. The stats are still going. But as you guys can probably go and tell, the loading is not really loading. It's not really going. Everything's kind of just slogging. Like, the video is still going. I want you guys to know this. Like, this is not like it's not like a trick or anything like this. Just this, it's a really old school style game. Although in PlayStation's defense and Ratchet and Clank's defense, if you play almost any game on a hard drive nowadays, a lot of these games are just not optimized for it. It's definitely older tech at this point, but it's leading like a lot of contention, because in theory, this is the quote-unquote minimum specs to play the game. Now, if I was playing this game and this happened every single time I went through a portal in Ratchet and Clank, even if my PC was a literal potato, I probably would be pretty upset I just spent the money on buying the game, because look at how poorly this runs in between these like little loading screens. A lot of this is more on the loading side, as you guys can kind of see, like as it went through the loading pause right here, which will give it a second. Then it did go like fine, like the game did go and load. You saw the transition, like he kind of made animations and et cetera, et cetera. But a lot of things for SSDs are just basically loading the game in the background. So if you have something like a hard drive, which is not necessarily installed on your hard drive, not every game does that, that means that the game itself is just going to slog. Like, look at this. So this is like the loading screen. And then like once you're in the actual map and environment, your GPU and CPU are rolling good, because you're basically I'm not really sure if I'm explaining this the best, obviously, because I'm not the smartest, but when it comes to stuff like your actual like memory / like the actual hard drive itself is basically encoding it well enough right now after it had all that time to load. Like, remember old school loading screens in games? That's probably the best example. So SSDs usually just have a chance to go and just overwrite that stuff very quickly and get to the next segment of loading, which once again kind of goes and shows on how well the PlayStation 5 even did. And it also once again highlights how exceptionally well the PlayStation 5 SSD even is. Now, I'm not going fully boast on, obviously, the PlayStation. Xbox does have a nice SSD, and most games can be loaded like this. And this is on a very, very dated PC, but that doesn't necessarily take away the drama that might be popping up from these types of videos. Because once again, look, you kind of go through like 2 segments over here for the cool like segue, and then as the next environment is loading, everything just once again crawls to a halt, and you just can't do anything. Like, look at this. Like, at this point, like, literally nothing is even happening in the actual video itself. Once again, though, I just want to keep on saying this is the minimum specs. So, like, obviously, most people probably have nicer PCs than this, or laptops, or whatever. And as well, it's also not an SSD, which has been standard, at least for me. I've been a PC gamer for a very long time. Like, I'd probably say the last 3 PCs of mine have always been, like, SSDs. And I've also had a PC for, like, I'm a streamer, so I've been streaming for, like, 10 years at this point. So, for a while, we've usually always had SSDs for this one. But it's kind of been having a really big contention point, because people keep on calling this out and discussing on this, too, as well. So, some of the people did actually have slightly better results, though, on a slightly higher hard drive, and as well, some folks had different types of things, but basically, people are trying to say that this game was probably not going to be possible on the PS4, which would make sense, too, because the PlayStation 4 did not have an SSD at all, so it was a little bit more on the laid-back side. So, I want to hear your kind of thoughts on both of these, because the Xbox update does seem pretty nice, and this big drama over here between Ratchet and Clank has definitely been getting some people making fun of the game, but as well, kind of highlighting on how well and how optimized the PlayStation 5 actually is. Now, one other big thing to note, too, is on the PlayStation Plus blog. In case you guys want to check out your PlayStation Plus monthly games for August, we have them now announced. Death's Door. Fantastic game. Highly do recommend. I almost want to stream this up on my Twitch stream. Very good game. I do recommend it. Worth the download. Dreams as well, although it is a PS4 game, is very much like a Roblox where people build and make their own game the best they can. So I would also recommend that too as well, if you guys want just kind of like a funner, goof around game with a lot of different experiences. May not have the most longevity, may not be the most like best game out there. Some of the other games like a Minecraft or Roblox do it a little bit better too as well, but at the same time for free, or if you guys already are a part of the premium or extra things, I'd say go for it. And of course also as well the 2K23 good old PGA Tour as well, in case you just want to check out any of these games. And also the last reminder too, obviously, if you guys only have a little bit of time left, make sure you guys go and download the July games of Call of Duty, Black Ops Cold War, Alan Wake Remastered, and basically Ending Extinction is Forever. Last but not least, we also had some pretty fun news for Star Wars Outlaws devs. Well, are saying it's not going to be like some crazy Witcher game where the game's going to be like 300 hours long, and some folks are very happy with that one. I myself am. Give me like a 20 to 50 hour game, a little bit longer if it's an RPG. I do not mind. And as well, also had some cool news for Atlas Fallen, a game I'm actually getting hyped up for myself, where basically they're saying they actually are on their own individual, unique engine. We've been seeing a lot more marketing promotion for this game as of recently too as well. So give me your thoughts and comments on all these updates down below. Make sure you guys are subscribed with the notifications on. We have the Twitter and Twitch room down below as well, and all the Amazon links too, and have a good rest of your nights. Appreciate you guys all so much for watching here in the first place.